don't love you.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome all. I'm doing this by myself in the rain, as if the other boys are helping parking still. First of all, thanks for coming. It's our third year, Porsches by the Lake. 350, then 550, and then we sold 750. And we sold 500 tickets in 12 hours. So that's the sort of support you guys are giving us. This isn't commercial for us. We do it for love, just for the community. Don't make a penny. But it's just a lot of people get behind it. And even though it's raining, it's nice to see that not that many people have left yet. They're bearing with us and sticking it out. So we've got a lot going on here this year. You know, we're trying to, because we knew we had a lot of people, we've tried to do some catering. So we've got some catering village over in the far corner. Trot and Winnie, Ember's Pizzas, the Bagel Queen, the Larasso ice cream, if the sun comes out, and coffee. Over to our left, we've got a trade village. We've got some great supporters of the Porsche community. I'll definitely forget some. DNS, Dissident, RPM Technic, Type 2 Detectives. So go over and see what they're talking about and see what they've got. Brought some beautiful cars. Topaz has got some good cars on there. What else? Up at the house, please don't forget, we've got the house tea rooms, lots of great food, coffee and drinks, and hopefully the Wi-Fi might work up there as well for payments. So I'm standing on the stage, which is kindly sponsored by Jardine, which is our local Porsche East London, South London, Cambridge, Colchester. So they've got a nice stage here. They've kindly sponsored it. My good friend Lee Sibley from the Nine Works communities here.
Hello, mate. I think, can we get a wave just to put that ears on? Magic. Thank you. Yeah, mate, just want to say, first of all, Guy, a massive thank you for putting this on to you, Andy, James, and the crew. There's a big crew behind this, making all of this work. So, yeah, thanks for putting it on, pal.
No, it's good. It's just...
Absolutely.
We've also actually got, for the first time, we've got Jack over here and his team have put on an amazing stage again. We've actually got a live stream to YouTube because it was comedy last year. We did it on Lee's iPhone and it was all a bit dodgy.
Noddy.
So we thought, for the people that can't be here, and there's quite a few that are on holiday or away or just live too far away, and we thought, let's do it properly so they can sort of share in the experience. Although the difference is they're probably sitting on their sofa in the warm with a beer, and we're in the rain. But hey, it's good fun.
Yeah.
But so the plan for today, we're going to get some characters up on the stage. It worked really nicely last year. Lee, Andy Brooks, they're going to talk people, through their Porsche story, and just have a little bit of banter. If anyone feels the need to get up here and spill their guts, I'm sure they can find a space.
Or chat about cars.
I'm sure they can come up and tell their story, and that's worked quite well on your podcast. We have quite a lot of interesting stories come out of this. But yeah, Mr. Brooks. So yeah,
afternoon. Or is it afternoon yet? No, it's still morning.
Yeah.
It's just
so yeah. Please bear with us. The weather forecast is looking better.
That's what I keep saying.
We keep saying it, but hopefully it will dry up. But bear with us.
Yeah.
Can't do much about it. So
in any regard, the weather isn't great, but there's a fantastic turnout here. So, obviously, it's kudos to you guys putting on, but also kudos to everybody turning up and braving it as well. The guys in the middle, if you want, feel free to get under a tree, or I think there's a screen at the top, isn't there?
Yeah, we're streaming both to YouTube and the screen at the top. Yep.
There's lots of good food up there, isn't there?
Yes.
I had an amazing wrap this morning, breakfast wrap.
Yeah,
it's good. So yeah, if you need food, there's some up there as well.
So yeah, please just enjoy the day. I'll maybe see you later. I'll get James down here when he's less busy up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just want to say it's not lost on me. Last year you had you were well representing Rothmans with a GT3. I know the GT3's gone now, but you're still representing with a hat.
So following our trip to Stuttgart last year, and I remember I gave my hat away.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
To the
All right,
kiddie.
and my dad went, "Oh, what a lovely thing to do," and an envelope arrived. And I thought, "What on earth's this?" I opened it, and it was the hat.
Really?
And
Yeah.
it was a nice touch. It's about the only thing he's ever bought me. but he I wonder if he's watching this.
This is the thing when you've been recorded. You know.
Yeah. So I'm repping the Rothmans today. So
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
All
Well,
right.
look, yeah, we'll do our best to not bore everybody for the next hour or so,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
here's some cool stories.
Yeah.
So the entertainment will come from the owners, certainly not from us. So.
Yeah. And one thing I must say, thank you to our sort of, aside from Jardine with this, Charles and Dean have sponsored our air-cooled lawn. Thank you very much. And Lockton at the top have sponsored our what we call the unicorn lawn. So the idea behind that is just to try and put a little focus group together of cars you don't see every day. You know, so we are. It's not elitist. It's all about the community, but it's just nice to get a few real specials up there. And I guess most of you have seen that Singer have bought their turbo DLS study, which is an absolute privilege to have them come along.
Yeah.
To our little event.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I guess thanks, Guy. You go and get dry, mate. And
Yeah. Leave us in the rain.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Thanks.
chaps.
So take that microphone.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, let's definitely give Guy and the whole team a round of applause for putting the day on. So I guess the plan really is to hear as little from us as possible, because I'm sure you hear enough of us on Nineworks Radio.
If you don't know what Nineworks Radio is, it's probably the premier pop Porsche podcast. Does everybody listen? Oh, fantastic.
Great
Amazing. Stuff. Are we ready to get Ben up?
Absolutely. The legendary Ben Bailey, part of the Driven Not Hidden Collective.
You can tell he comes from Newcastle. Look at that, his T-shirt. Where's the shorts? Take that, Ben.
You've got Factor 50 on.
I'll come over
Factor 50, yeah. This is just normal. This is normal summertime for us Geordies. So, yeah. Well, I don't know what you soft southerners are all doing.
So,
shirt sleeves and coats.
So
Umbrellas,
Ben has come all the way down from Newcastle.
Certainly have.
The car has been local, actually, hasn't it? But I know you drove down last weekend in it to go to another event, Clubs in the Classics in the Classics at the Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And brought it down. So is anybody further away than Newcastle? Is Ben the winner on the journey time? I can't see any hands going up there.
You keep clearing up in these competitions.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've got an unfair advantage. Yeah. There's got to be someone. There's got to be some Scots here or something.
I think they're all in Germany at the moment, aren't they? So.
Yeah. So Ben, we went on one of our road trips. And well, I was at this particular road trip. We went to Wales earlier in the year, and I was very fortunate that you allowed me to drive this wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
Do you want to start off by taking us through what it is and how it came about?
Yeah, so this is a 79 930, and the 930 for me was always my kind of dream poster car. But I think for the longest time I shied away from it because I was just worried about its reputation. So I actually wasn't even looking for a 930. I was looking for a narrow body impact bumper 3.2 Carrera or an SC. But then this came up and it was so bloody cheap that I couldn't not go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
So I travelled down to London and I'd already told myself, I'll go and have a look at it. But Ben, you are not buying a car today. You're walking. Even if you want to buy it, just give it 24 hours, but you're going to walk away from it. So I went and had a look and I said, look, mate, it's a lovely car, but it's definitely not for me. It's knackered. Sorry. It's knackered. I'm not having it. It's not for me. And he was like, oh, go on, I'll do your deal. I was like, and then the ka-chings start going around in your head. I was like, oh, go on then. So I ended up leaving with a 930 that I told myself I wouldn't
never
do.
buy.
Yeah.
So when did you buy this? This was earlier this year?
Yeah, just after Christmas. I think I picked it up kind of middle of January time. Yeah. So I haven't had it long at all. And then took it straight from him to see Neinmeister Porsche, just to have a good going over. And then when I got the bill back from there, I wish I'd bought the SC and not the 930. But yeah, nope, had some fabulous miles in it since then. It's been really good fun.
So we hacked around in Wales. When was that? That was
April.
April. So 4 days in Wales. Ben, Lee, myself, and probably 11 or so other cars on one of our 9 Works road trips. Just had a fantastic time.
It was a great trip, really great trip. And I think I really fell in love with the car on that trip, on those kind of Welsh roads with the kind of company of you guys. It was just, but I'd only picked it up from Nine Meister probably a week or so before then, so I hadn't really had the opportunity to drive it before Wales.
Did you really bond? You really bonded with it, didn't you?
I bonded with it then, yeah.
So a real learning exercise.
And this was only supposed to be a temporary car for me, so it was only just supposed to be something just to keep me going for 12 months because I had another car that was due to go into build. But actually, after Wales, I fell in love with this, and I think I told you that I cancelled the project car.
Yeah.
So,
wise choice. Now, I think we should talk about another car that you have, so you've been like, I don't know, crazy. How many miles have you done in Porsches over the last few weeks? You've done the Wales trip.
Yeah.
You did a trip to Portugal
in my 356,
yeah. And you've done the Irish 9 Works trip as well.
You're making me sound pretty crazy now, aren't you?
Well, you are pretty crazy.
Got some mental issues.
That's why you're up here first.
Yeah. Got some mental issues, this guy.
So take us through the 356 and the trip that you did with that.
Yeah, so the 356 club internationally will meet every year in a kind of different city dotted around the world. And I missed out on last year's, which was over in Munich. So I signed up to do the Portuguese one this year, and it was brilliant. Yeah,
pictures looked absolutely fabulous.
Oh no, it was beautiful. Yeah.
If you want to see some pictures of Ben's car and it in Portugal, go to Air-Cooled Obsession.
Air-Cooled Obsession, yeah.
Obsession.
Air-Cooled.obsession on Instagram. Thanks for the plug, Andy.
Yeah. Plug. Ben also takes some marvellous pictures as well. I think you're a bit of a professional photographer in some way, aren't you?
Very kind of you to say, yeah. No, but I'm trying.
You're trying.
Yeah.
Does take some nice photos. Great cars. And you also drive daily Taycan as well, don't you?
Yeah, but keep that quiet because that doesn't go down well in the Porsche.
No, they've all got their place.
To be fair, on that note, so it's worth just pointing this out, ladies and gentlemen, that obviously we're in a field of Porsches here. You've got a load of air-cooled stuff over there and unicorn cars as well on the unicorn lawn. Fantastic name. But a 930 Turbo is super unique. I'm not sure there's anything else like a 930 Turbo here. If you think rear-wheel drive, just 4 gears, manual, no driver aids whatsoever. I think they just give you a Bible when you buy the car instead. That is super unique. Obviously, pretty much approaching 50 years of age.
Yeah. Well, actually, this car and I are both 45 years old. I'm 78. This is 79, but it was delivered January of 79. So it probably rolled off the line at the similar time as I was born.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is definitely wearing its years a lot better than I am. But,
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but that's a really unique combination. There wasn't a lot like it on the road at the time. And sorry for the plug, but we have just done a podcast special on the Turbo. But yeah, not a lot like it on the road at the time, but especially like compared to today, the 911 now is 8-speed, twin turbocharged, a lot of them are 4-wheel drive, etc. It's a very different kind of driving experience,
Yeah, but then, and I think I said this to you, Lee, in Ireland, like, I really don't want to drive much more modern stuff than this because I know that pretty much every other car here is going to be a better driver than this. So I don't really want to tempt myself with something that's more modern and more capable. Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? So when I'm pedaling along in this, I don't miss anything that I don't know about, really. Yeah. And I'm quite happy like that in my old banger. Yeah.
So you should be, Ben. That's a stunning car. It's Minerva blue, in case you're wondering. The wheels are aftermarket, aren't they?
Yeah.
Campagnolos, is that?
So they're made by a UK company called Group 4, and they are their Campagnolo replicas. So like a replica of the race wheel in period. Yeah.
Suit it so well.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Sits great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So last year we let the driver drive off and we just put the mic down for a bit of sound. So maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think what we'll do is we'll get you to back into the lake.
Water cooled.
Or
What
no,
goes
actually,
in?
you can go straight out through there. So
Yeah.
if you go through there, Ben.
Well,
Excellent.
thank you very
Mate,
much,
ladies
chaps.
and gentlemen, Ben Bailey, top man for
Ben,
coming up
thank you.
first as well. Very brave. Well done, mate. Thank you.
Don't stall it.
So yeah, we'll now listen to the delightful flat six tones of the 930.
How close I should go.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Right, shall we? Oh, is that one working? Oh,
There we go. Yeah.
done.
Happy days. They don't make them like they used to. No oil.
Glad mine's not up here. Right, I think we'd like to get the RNLI guys up, which is James and Annabelle. Is that correct? Belinda, sorry. It was because you said Anne Belinda, wasn't it, earlier? Yes. I got very confused. Right, so these guys, we wanted to get up last year, but we ran out of time. They were
Yes.
just teed up, ready to come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic cause. It's a fantastic story. Obviously, we'll hear all about that very shortly. But also, just loving the livery on the car.
If you just do your steering before you go on the carpet and then keep it straight on the
Amazing.
carpet, otherwise it rocks.
After the RNLI, I think we've got Jit coming up in his 996 GT2, I think. Quite possibly. Yeah, you up for that? Amazing. Amazing. Another brave drive this morning in the rain.
Perfect.
Amazing. Amazing. Belinda, welcome to the stage. Can we get a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the endeavours that we've got here?
Thank you.
Amazing. Belinda, I just want to apologise, first of all, because last year we really wanted to chat to you and we just ran out of time. And it's kind of, I've been burdened by it ever since. So it's like, it's nice to kind of, adjust this and have you up. So
Okay, so
kind of top level, I guess, for those that don't know, what's the cause? Why have we got this liveried 991.2 behind us here?
When I retired, I decided to get the car of my dreams. Unlike the previous gentleman, I was born in the 60s. And I used to have cars. I was a real tomboy. I played football. I was into cars and climbing trees. So there were no dolls in my toy box. And I was brought up really by my auntie, who had three boys, Ricky, Larry and Terry. And they were all into cars, and they used to give me their cast-offs. And I was given a 912, a model of a 912 that I thought was silver. In actual fact, they'd bashed it so much that all the paint had come off. But I always recognised it. And when I went round there, my mum would drop me off to stay there for the day, and I'd instantly go to the toy box and look for that sloping back. I was 4 at the time. And I think that seed just planted itself somewhere in here in my psyche. So when I retired, mortgages, children, all of that had been done. And I thought, now this is the time now for me to go back to my childhood and get the 911. I would have loved a 912, but, and I had originally wanted it in a beautiful blue. They did 4 special colours that year. And I can't even remember the name of the colour. But Porsche said in Germany, I couldn't have that blue with the light interior and the navy, unless I paid another £16,000, and I wasn't prepared to go that extra mile. So I went home and sulked, quite literally, in front of the television. And James, to try and sort of pacify me, went and got a takeaway curry.
Good start.
I sat down in front of the telly. I didn't even sit at the dining table. I just sat it on my lap and I ate it, really thoroughly miserable. And then Saving Lives at Sea came on the television, which is a programme, I don't know if any of you've seen it, but it's been a series that's been running for 8 years. And it's really a fly-on-the-wall documentary about all the rescues that the RNLI does. We have kind of had a little bit of a relationship with the RNLI in the past, but no big shakes. But when I was sitting there watching the programme, I do remember being in the dealership talking about this blue one, and seeing that they did another special colour that year, which was lava orange. A lot of people think this is red, but it's the lava orange. And I remember thinking, gosh, that's a bit similar to a colour of a lifeboat. And they do a navy hood. And I thought, hang on a second, we'd planned to travel around Scandinavia to do a tour. And in my car, we were tired, and this is what we're going to do. And I said to James, you know what? We haven't done Blighty's Coast. Why don't we do that? And maybe we can call into a few lifeboat stations. I don't know, maybe raise some money for them. So there, before the program ended, there the plot was hatched. And so from 2018, we got this car. It arrived in the February. We then parked it up at Porsche East London, which is where I got it from, for the best part of 6 months before we started the challenge, the first ever RNLI 911 challenge, on the 23rd of August 2018. We raised just over £16,000, which was a bit of a disappointment, to be very honest, from our point of view. We thought we might raise a little bit more. But on the other hand, we thought we were so inspired by the people that we met, the volunteer crews who go out. They never question, they don't hesitate, and they don't judge. And they will go out 24/7, not when it's all lovely and calm and quiet, but when it's like dark and stormy and dangerous. So we thought we'd do something for them. And when we drove around, we found them just an absolute inspiration, and we felt we needed to do it more than once. So in subsequent years, we did each of the home nations individually. So we did Scotland the following year, then we did Ireland, Wales, and last year we did all the English lifeboat stations. This year we're finishing off. This is our last blast challenge, you'll be probably pleased to know. And this one, we're going to be doing all 238 lifeboat stations in 911 hours. When we did this in 2018, it's about 8,500 miles. It equates 911 hours is 37.95 days. So and there's 36 ferries included in that and 4 flights. Well, we made it back to the last station, and there was about 35 Porsches waiting outside the B&B in deepest Kent, rumbling. Our B&B owner wondered what the hell was going on. And we made it to the last station with 7 minutes left on the clock.
Very good.
So we're going for a personal best of hoping to make it 8 minutes left on the clock this time. But if you want to see the car later on, you'll see a whole map here of the United Kingdom and the whole of Ireland. On there, you'll see all the dots, and they represent all 238 lifeboat stations. So you'll see we go as far north as Shetland, where there's 2 lifeboat stations. We're probably about 30 miles away from the Arctic Circle at this point. And then we go all the way down to the most southern station, which is on Jersey at St Heliers. Then we do the whole of Ireland. A lot of people say, what, the RNLI does the whole of Ireland? Yep. They do. They've been around for 200 years this year, so way before politics got involved in Ireland, which is fantastic. Around the car, you'll see all the decals. These actually are slightly out of date. The bonnet and the doors are current, but these ones are from last year because we're gathering sponsors as I speak. Each of our sponsors us £238, which is £1 for every lifeboat station, to visit a station of their choice. We have, for the last 5 years, been putting that into a pot, and that is to buy a D-class lifeboat. It's the smallest of the fleet, but it does 60% of all RNLI rescues. And interestingly, it's the same length as this car. It's the same width as this car. It too came to market in 1963. Obviously, the D-Class has an engine at the back. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, but they're both water-cooled. So, but we promote not only the RNLI, but this machine. This is our unsung hero. This takes us down roads that most Porsche owners will not want to take their car. Hunstanton is a case in point where it is the most uneven road we've ever been down in the car. Fortunately, we've got a front axle lift, which slightly helps. But yes, so we've raised so far over £83,000 towards the lifeboat. By the end of this challenge, and if we can get some more sponsors on board, we're hoping to crack the £120,000 come the 30th of September, which is when we finish our challenge. We would invite every and any Porsche driver to come to any of the lifeboat stations. We have an itinerary. Come and have a look at it. And if you're anywhere near where we're going to be during our challenge, we would love to see you there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take a photograph of every Porsche, their number plate. And at the end, when we get to the Isle of Man, which is where it all started with Sir William Hillary 200 years ago, we're going to put all those number plates into an RNLI Wellington boot, and we'll pull out a name or a number plate. And the winner will win the princely sum of £238, of course, for you to do whatever you like with. But it's just James and I's way of saying thank you. My other unsung hero, James was never really into Porsche until I kind of introduced him. I had to do it very, very gradually with a K in and then kind of like gradually bring him in. He's now almost more of a fervent fan than I am. So I thank you very, very much for listening to me whittling on here. I know that probably there's not many women that kind of get excited about cars so much as some of us do. But they're a fabulous car, and thank you for your time.
No, you're absolutely awesome. Just before you go, so a couple of questions. Obviously, there's a lot of mileage involved. So what's the total miles that are like on this car so far then?
We've got just under 52,000.
Amazing.
And here's a little thing, a little story at the very beginning. I have a thing about numbers, and 9/11 obviously features in that. When I started out, the car was brand new. I kept it at Porsche East London for 6 months for a very good reason. I wanted to start the first challenge with 911 miles on the clock. So I had got planned about half a dozen events to go to, and I'd worked out the mileages backwards and forwards, allowed a little bit extra for deviation. We met Pirelli, who wanted to do an article on the car at the dealership, and he was taking cars, and then he looked on the dash and he said, "Oh, you've only done X amount of miles." And I said, "That's right." I said, "Because we've got to do," and then all of a sudden I thought, hang on a second, that number doesn't seem right. So when I got home, I looked at my trusted spreadsheet, and sure enough, I was going to be 3 miles over. And there's no way I was going to be giving up 6 months of driving, which is what I'd restrained myself for 6 months, and be 3 miles over at the start. So we actually had to hire a trailer to take the car to our house so that we could get there in time. When we got to Teddington Lifeboat Station, which was the first lifeboat station that's in London, we arrived there and I had about 1.25 miles to go. So I drove up and down the road. I had my son-in-law in the car, whose mathematics are absolutely on point. I then got into the car park. I had about 1/4 mile to do, and they had a car park right next to the station. And I just drove figure of eights until such time as I got to that 9:11. And I reversed it onto the drive of Teddington Lifeboat Station, and we photographed 9:11:00 on the clock.
Amazing.
I know, it's very nerdy, I know.
I'm kind of picturing the person that's come along with the truck, and it's a long story, but
the trailer, yeah. I mean, there it was coming over Tower Bridge on the back of this trailer, and it was a sight to behold. And I took photographs and everything, and it was a crazy moment.
Do you think there'll be another challenge? It's always at the end of one, there's always a part of your brain which goes, "Oh, what next?" Or is that's it?
I mean, to be very honest, anytime I get in this car, that's the smile comes on my face. So I'm going to be driving without a doubt. We did plan at one point when we had between 2018 and 2024, we had a year, and I thought, oh, why don't we get, sorry guys, an electric car and do the shipping forecast. So drive from Southeast Iceland all the way down to all the countries that touch all the shipping forecast areas. So North of Sierra, South of Sierra, Germanweit, Fisher, all of those, all the way down to Trafalgar, which your gentleman will know is in Portugal. But COVID came along, so that scuppered that. Whether we revisit that, I think we will, but it will be in Splash, which is what I named my car, because I just can't get my head around electric cars.
There'll be a lot of stop-offs.
Yeah, so basically watch this space. But the car will always stay in our family. I worked bloody hard to get it, and I'm not going to be giving that up lightly. And I like to think that one day we're due our first grandchild in September in the middle of our challenge, and we're not going to be anywhere near our daughter. But I like to think that that grandchild will grow up one day and follow us in our footsteps, and maybe just shake the can for an organisation which hopefully will go on for at least another 200 years. One last point I'd like to make is this man here, who's basically my rock. We live for 42 days in basically 3 cubic meters. Yeah. There's not many marriages, I think, could manage that.
Yeah.
And we're still together after 42 years. So it says something. But at times we have to lower the roof just to let the hot air, so to speak, out. But yeah.
It's a long time in a small space, I guess. Hey,
Yeah, everything gets shared there. But yeah, this is James, co-driver, co-pilot, co-navigator.
It's a definite team effort, but Splash is definitely the unsung hero of the whole thing. I think people on the first challenge in 2018, Porsche Edinburgh suggested they send a technician along, check the car over, look at the fluids. And the guy said, I don't know why I'm here. Look, don't get me wrong. I hate going to work, but coming to a nice hotel, checking the fluids. They said, these are bulletproof. You can take the car anywhere. And he said, it's great to see people like yourselves driving the car and experiencing the pleasure of driving an amazing machine. As Belinda said, I was a bit late coming to Porsche, but once you get in the cockpit, all the dials are in front of you. Why would you want to be anywhere else? It's an amazing place to be. And we live with 19,500 miles of the most amazing coastline in the world. It's incredible. But thanks to Splash and all the people at Porsche who make these amazing cars, it's been a pleasure to do it.
Absolutely.
And please, as Belinda said, and I'll say it again in case you weren't listening, please look at the itinerary, check out the stations. There's 238 of them. And we'd love to see you. It's real, and most importantly, you might start a relationship with the RNI. They're the most amazing group of volunteers. And they also do get invited in a great cup of tea.
Just before you go, it's worth pointing out for those that don't know the website that they should visit.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if you go to rnli-911challenge.co.uk, that's where you'll find our whole itinerary as well. I do very regular posts on Instagram, so we would love it if you wanted to follow us as well. I do a lot of posts when we're actually on the road, and probably a bit more so this time because it is our last one. We say that sometimes and we get a little bit choked, James and I, because it's been quite life-changing for us, the whole series of challenges. And we were very lucky last night. We were invited by the RNLI to a rather swanky do at the Painted Hall, where we were presented to Princess Anne as a thank you for the fundraising that we've done for the RNLI. But when we say to her, but it's the crews that do the work, not us. And she said, but you need both. They go hand in hand. They need the money and we need their dedication and ability to rescue. So yes, so visit us on RLI 911 Challenge, and come and see us, come and join us, come and talk to us. We don't bite, we only have one head and 2 legs, so we'd love to talk to you.
Awesome.
Yes, and there's a QR code here as well. If you wanted to, you can zap that and that takes you to our website.
Perfect.
Super duper. Thanks for
you.
sharing your story. And
thank you.
again, sorry we didn't get there last year, but hopefully
thank you
it's worth
so
it
much.
this time around. Best of luck for what you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda and James for the RNLI Challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, we'll listen to the car as it heads off, as becoming customary. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Go straight through there, yeah.
So 991.2, 3 litre.
Look at the smoke coming off the top. Where the sun is out.
Yeah.
And the rain is burning off.
It's Max. How you doing, mate? I'm
There he
going
is.
to be really horrible and I'm going to go, there you go, pal.
Hello.
Is that it?
There's no pictures. It didn't happen, right?
Just quickly, Max is the third amigo on the podcast. And nice to lump you on the microphone, even for 30 seconds, pal.
I'll wait for Jet and I'll pass it over. He's got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say. Yeah. take the top off.
He's definitely going to flick your carpet up there, Andy.
He is, isn't he?
You better tell him not to.
It's all right. He knows he brought the turbo up.
Look at him.
No wheel spinning on their Jit.
Sun's out, guns out, Lee.
Perfect. It's feeling that way, isn't it? That sun. Can I take that microphone for you? Are you sure you're done?
For now.
Are you going to come back on a little bit later?
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Amazing.
Right then.
Thank you.
There you go, sir. Have a little
Cheers.
sound test.
Testing, testing.
He's in. He's in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Jit and his 996 GT2.
Hello, everyone.
I'm going to debrave as
Hang
well.
on, I said this is Jit and his 996 GT2's
Thank
Brave
you.
coming up on the stage. There we go. Well
right,
done. Well
thank
done.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. So, similarly to Ben earlier on, lots of rain en route here, but you're also turbocharged, distinct lack of driver aids, 2 turbochargers. It's quite a beast, quite a machine. You don't see many of these. So, kudos to you, Jit.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I met up with some others and it started raining, and I met up with another person in a GT2, and we just gave each other this knowing look that we would not be hitting boost on the way here. So yeah, took it easy. Took it easy.
Well, the GT2, like the 930 that was up first, shares the nickname of Widowmaker, but I think you're getting on well with it. I guess, what made you go for a GT2? It's quite left field.
Complete accident. I wasn't looking at GT2s at all. I'd spent a lot of time chewing friends and family's ears off about 996 GT3s. So if you put me on the spot and said, "What's your dream car?" It's a Zanzibar Red 996.1 GT3, the launch color and spec. But I've been talking about it a lot, and a chap who works on my cars said, "I've got a client and I've rebuilt this GT2. Would you like to look at it?" And I think he's not using it. You might be able to get it off him. So I went to have a look at it, and I do what I normally do when I look at cars. I just look at them and say, "Yep, I want it," and not actually check it out. So that was it. Complete accident, but a lucky accident because I couldn't imagine having a GT3 over GT2 now.
Okay. Well,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big statement. And
Yeah.
what makes you think that?
It's I always thought of GT2s as like a hammer or a mallet compared to a scalpel, which is a GT3. After driving this on track and quick cross country, it is like the mallet and the hammer, but it's still got those scalpel sharp reflexes almost. And it's got the turn in, and it's got the excitement of a GT3. It doesn't have the engine noise or the excitement of chasing the red line, but when the boost comes in, like it's a different type of excitement, and it's like, oh, you're kind of holding on, and you're not completely in control, but you mostly are.
it's amazing. As a fact that you may or may not know, but the 996 GT2 was designed by Mr. Tony Hatter, who I'm sure most people will know penned the 993. There's a nice air-to-water synergy there.
He did all right, didn't he?
He did very well. Again, like very unique. Like the front bumper is unique design to the GT2, as is like the fixed rear wing here. The GT2 was the first car to get ceramic brakes as standard. Jit, you'll know far more about this car than me otherwise, I guess. 462 horsepower, which you might think is a weird number, but it's actually exactly 10% more than the turbo.
It was 462. After 2 weeks after buying it, I got it mapped, and it's 540 now.
You can't help yourself, can you?
You'll get on very well with John, by the way. He loves mapped high horsepower cars.
And then obviously I've done that, and straight afterwards I realised that the standard clutch wasn't up to the torque anymore, so I had to do a brake clutch, which is why when you see me, it shows people are getting in and out, and I'm just laughing at them trying to put the clutch down. It's like the heaviest clutch of any car I've ever driven. So yeah, it's I've made it more difficult to drive, and probably worse, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like 100%. So long as you're enjoying it,
Yeah.
that's all that matters. Is it as fearsome to drive as its reputation would have people believe?
I came into it really tentative in terms of driving it, and I was always really careful about boost in a straight line, careful in the cold or the wet. And then I went to Thruxton in October, and it was damp in the morning. And I said to Max, I'm going to Thruxton, and he kept saying to me, you know, it's like the fastest track in the UK. I was like, well, that really puts my mind at rest. Thanks for that, Max. But I went out in it, and I was really pushing it, and it just felt really composed, and I completely surprised me, like really surprised me. So since then, I've been more confident on road. You still don't really take liberties with it, but I've got this is not the same, but I've got a Clio V6, and it's a car that car is useless. Like, it's really badly built. Dynamically, it's awful, but it's got loads of character. But it's almost like training for this. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Okay,
you kind of respect it a bit more. So you know, over Christmas I had it out, and it was not so much the wet. It's when it's cold and wet that this thing wheel spins in a straight line, and you're like, oh, it starts. And I was watching the video you did on the 996 and the 997 GT2s, and there's this bit in it which made me laugh, where you're driving straight down the road in the 996, and I can hear the wheel spin as you go over a bump, and it spins, and it's like, I'm like, that's what it does. It kind of, you suddenly hear it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just woken me up a bit. So
the thing with these cars, the 997 GT2 is the same. When you put your foot down, it will fidget.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do is just let it do it. Don't try and overcorrect it, I guess, as you all well know. I mean, these are rare. There's about 1,200, give or take, probably less than that now.
Yeah, I think there's a few less.
You know, but again, the guys have done so well, and girls, to get so many awesome cars here today. But I wonder how many other you'd see. Certainly less than 5 996 GT2s today. Have you seen any others?
Yeah, it's when you go to shows, like, you'll come across. I've started taking numbers down of other GT2 owners, because we're like, at some point we'll get a few of us together, hopefully. And then obviously I turned up today, and there was a black one, and I was convoying with another GT2, and I said to Chris, who was driving it, I was like, it's weird following a GT2 and then being followed by it when you're in one, because you're just not used to seeing them. But yeah, it's you don't spot them that often.
No. Well, again, look, this is awesome. Kudos to you for bringing it out. You are very much driven, not hidden, which we absolutely love. So, yeah, I guess, can we hear it start up? And
yeah, cool. Do you want to start it?
Oh no, not in front of this many people, mate. You're right.
I'd say that. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jit and his GT2. Thanks again, buddy. That's awesome for sharing your story. Thank you. Have we got time for one more?
Yes, we'll do.
Super duper. Forwards or backwards?
Yes, please. Perfect. Thanks, Jim.
Nice.
It's not that wide, Jim. It's not that wide. Go on. You can make it through there.
Still no oil.
Still no oil.
Very well. Doing very well. Doing very well.
Here we go. So we've got the Porsche bells coming on now.
Oh, amazing. Stage left or right? Ah, yes, here we go. Super duper. Look at this. Nice bit of colour. Now the sun's come out. Fantastic.
Oh, look at that with a... I'll swap you for this.
Thank you.
Let's pop this out the front.
That's it. I'd say keep coming if you can a little bit.
As well.
Just
Got to.
That should be good. And then drop me there. So we can see as much of both cars as possible.
Lovely.
Amazing. Right. Heidi, I assume, or is it the car? Okay, I'll pass this over to you because you're more important, okay?
Well, you've slung into the
And also, my bit of the asterisk from Burley Sports and for the pause. This is Charlie, Charlie Z, Charlie N, and Charlie S.
Fantastic.
She wants to be a DJ.
She's on. Excellent. So we've got the Porsche bells here this afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? Are we there yet? We are.
Nearly,
Good.
minutes.
I keep wishing it was afternoon.
Do you want to come forward? Yeah.
Yeah, come on forward. Come on forward.
Eva.
Yes.
Let's give Carrie then.
Right. So we've got this is Kerry Mason. So you drive this GT4 RS
Yep.
we've got here.
Katie.
Katie's the car. Who else have we got here?
So this is your car, and then I'm Michelle Vellacott. This is Sue Shillham. We've got Sam. Tommy Thompson. This is Eva, my daughter, and this is Heidi.
And sorry, say that again.
Sam Tommy Thompson. This is my daughter Eva, and this is Heidi.
And also, I got this very important thing for you. This is Porsche Bell's sticker, which I'm going to use. I think it's over Super Mario Maker 2 steel books for presents.
Excellent. So, guys, or girls, should I say? Sorry. Tell us about Porsche Bells. How long has it been going? Whose idea was it?
It was a joint effort between Michelle and myself. We
Yeah.
were at Salon
Lockton,
Privé.
weren't we? We got
Lockton.
invited to
Yeah.
to Salon Privé by Lockton,
Yeah.
who are up here today, aren't they? Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were
We sat
having-
talking,
we were
saying they
chatting.
don't do enough in the club. They don't do enough for women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because Carrie's an amazing driver and has got this fantastic car. I'm James Vellacott. 911 Spy is my husband, and I was one of those if you can't beat them, join them type person. And I've kind of got the passion for Porsche via my husband, and it was almost like, why don't we set up a group? We've got people in the group that are female racing drivers, but
Yeah.
we've also got people like me that just love to come to the events, and we meet amazing other friends and couples, and it's just a really lovely atmosphere being part of the Porsche community. So it was a bit about that, really, kind of making sure that ladies and women knew how much fun it can be, whether you are a racing driver and really want to do trips as female trips or anything really, but or also
Just
just
get
the fact
involved.
that we can get involved, we can go to these events and be with other people, like-minded people, but they
Yeah.
actually are quite fun. And also just know which are the good events to go to, not the ones where you sit in a car park and look at engines. We like to
There's
know about
nothing wrong with engines.
They can
Well,
be a
I
bit
quite
boring.
like
You quite like
I
engines,
do,
don't you?
yeah. I like engines, very much so. We just decided that the club wasn't doing enough for ladies. So it's all about inclusivity, expanding the inclusivity. If you're a Porsche Club GB member and you are either female or identify as female, then you are a Porsche Belle. And we're just trying to get women to get together more. And it really doesn't matter, as Michelle says, if you want to just meet up for whatever reason, or if you want to go on track or whatever. It's just recognising that there are ladies that like driving too.
Excellent. And how do you get involved? Do you need to get in contact with yourself? through
Yeah,
Porsche
can
Club?
do. You can email me, or if you email bells@porscheclubgb.com, get some information. Your local regional organisers should be doing stuff that makes it more inclusive for ladies to come along. And on the website as well, we have stuff on the website that we're doing. And we've had some ladies only meetings, which may be a little bit controversial, but just trying to get ladies a bit more confident to feel involved.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go into your Porsche story a little bit, Carrie?
My Porsche story.
So you're currently driving a GT4 RS.
Yep.
Now, I believe you had a few Porsche cars.
Yeah.
What
So I
brought
started
you
off with a
into
Boxster.
Porsches?
Well,
Yeah.
I've always loved Porsche.
Uh-huh.
From a child, I had posters of Porsche on the wall. I have no idea why. I just thought they were great. And then quite a few years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago, I got the opportunity to buy a Boxster. So I did. And it's kind of grown from there. I've had a
Yeah.
Boxster GTS. I've had a GT4. And now I've got Katie. And she's phenomenal.
And you quite often go on track days with the car?
I've got one booked in September.
Yeah.
To go to Donington, which is my favourite track. I did more track days with my GT4.
Yes.
I've been doing some road trips. I've been to Scotland since I've had her.
Oh, that was just a few weeks ago,
just
wasn't
a
it?
few weeks ago.
And
yes.
how was Scotland?
Oh, amazing roads. Just a long way to go, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've done the Yorkshire Dales as well, and on Monday I'm off to the Alps.
Fantastic.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not
Packed.
a garage queen.
No. So you're going in to the
Yeah.
Alps in the GT4 RS?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Excellent. Sorry, I've forgotten your
Oh,
name.
Michelle.
Michelle. Sorry, Michelle. You were going to represent the electric car
I was
fraternity
going to bring the
today.
electric car, but then these seemed
Available.
prettier.
Ah.
I have
Is
got
that your daily, the take
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite large. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit wide.
Yeah.
I find it's a nice. I love it, and
Yeah.
and it's a good. Yeah, it's a good drive to school, drive to work kind of car. But I wouldn't.
Do
get
you
another one.
drive? Do you drive the Sport Classic?
No.
Are you allowed?
I am allowed, and
You
I
are?
meant to. I have once. I did it on the Camargue, a very straight road with no other cars because I just I wanted to have a go, but I just I worry about the wheels, you know, and you just sort of think.
I think you need to get over that and get
I know.
driving it.
I drive a really old car. We've got a 1976 one. I was going to bring that today,
Oh,
but
the
I did
SC,
have to bring
yes.
the dog and take the daughter to school and everything. So I bought the electric instead. But yeah,
So you drive the SC quite often?
yeah, not often, but to events sometimes.
Yeah.
And I have driven the tractor. We've got the Porsche tractor up there as well.
Of
so there
course,
you go.
yeah. We were joking actually that we should have brought that up on stage.
I know,
but
that would have been nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So have you driven the tractor?
I have driven the tractor only round the field, and I did go into a fence, so I don't drive that very often either. I'm not
Fantastic.
painting myself as a very
Yeah.
good driver, am I?
Excellent. So obviously we've got some buckets with us today. What's what are you campaigning for?
Well, we were doing a lucky. In fact, I'm going to let Sue talk about the lucky dip because she's got some wonderful prizes here.
Hello. Yes. So we've got a lucky dip. If anyone comes over to the stand, it's £20, and we've got some great prizes. But we have 3 charities that we're covering. So Breast Cancer Now. Then we have Central Algarve. Is it? Yes. Is that called?
To do with the
Disability. It's to do with here actually, sending disability children for a holiday.
Wonderful.
And then we have the photography movement as well, and mental health.
That's your husband's
Yes, it
charity
is.
that
Yes,
he set
yeah.
up, wasn't it? Which,
Yes.
it's got a fantastic story about that.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has.
Great stuff. Yeah, so come and see these ladies with their bucket. Are you taking both cash and card payments?
Cash, notes,
Notes
and coins. Yes.
and coins. Okay. And I'm sure they'll take some online donations if you
Yes,
fancy.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Thank
And
you.
if people don't want to have a go at the lucky dip, we've got a big bucket of sweets. They can just put a few coppers in there, and we'll be very happy with that
Perfect.
too.
All right, great stuff. Thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Ah, thank you very
Thank you
much.
for bringing the cars.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Right, we're going to take a break now. I think there'll be some other guys that are coming up. Oh, have we got one more to come up here?
I think the guys at Porsche Colchester.
Okay, cool.
It's all right. Amazing. Cheers. The sound guys are brilliant.
You have
by the
that
way.
one.
Okay.
That's the guest one.
This is the guest one.
Yeah.
That's confused you guys, isn't it? Okay, shall we hear the SC start up first?
Yes, I'll go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with the SC. What a noise.
I've just realised it's a Carrera Supersport. My bad.
Sorry, that's a Carrera.
My bad.
It's a 3.2
What do we
Carrera,
know?
not
What
an
do we
SC.
know? Very nice. Thank you, Carrie.
Purring like a tiger. Oh, this sun's getting a bit, isn't it?
It's very hot, very hot. Instantly, I'm not sure if anyone can hear. It might have stopped now, but there was an alarm going off. I think it's still going. I'm fairly certain that is a 996 alarm.
Sounds like it.
And I have PTSD, and that's what that's triggering. So if that could go off, that would be amazing, because the battery on my 996 went flat. I was
Black
a black Boxster. Okay.
P-Reg Black Boxster.
P-Reg Black Boxster. Amazing. Yeah. I let the battery go flat on mine. It went off at 2 o'clock in the morning, would not turn off until 5:30. And I live in the middle of a very busy residential area, and didn't go out for about 3 months afterwards. So
your neighbours have been having parties ever since.
Yeah. So yeah, should we get the double whammy on from Porsche Centre Colchester?
I'm a bit scared. They've got a bike on the top of this, and there's a low tree.
Oh, I love this. I love a bit of health and safety. It's quality.
Yeah, I think we're just going to sneak through. We might get a bit of tree branch. Oh, yeah, just.
There we go.
Oh. It's almost like it was designed, that was.
Amazing. I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, we've got something else coming on as well.
Yeah.
We're bringing on the Dakar.
Elliot and the Dakar.
Wunderbar.
Look at that. Wicked stuff. Give you the guest one. Yeah, you're the man. So would you mind introducing yourself? Let's come around to the front.
Let's go around the front, yeah.
Thank you.
Go around.
So I've been given the mic, thank you.
Yeah. Richard, hand this over, mate.
Oh, we got Mike. Oh, I'll pass it over. Go on, you can have a go. Go on. All right then.
We can share one.
Guys, so you are from the local Porsche dealership.
Yeah, so Porsche Colchester. So my name's Tristan.
Let's get this nice and close.
Sorry,
There we go.
call me T.
And I'm also Porsche Centre Colchester, and I'm dealer principal.
Excellent. And the name?
Richard.
Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. So, would I be right in saying that you've sponsored this stage?
We
Is
have.
that correct?
We have. So as our group, we've got South London, East London, Cambridge, and ourselves at Colchester.
Yep.
And we've sponsored this stage here, and we've got about 10 cars, I think, in total, including the Dakar and the Cross Turismo we've got behind us.
Excellent. I drove one of these out in Norway. Oh my God, they are quite a weapon, I must say. I'm not well. I am an electric car guy. I've got an i3 as my daily, but it did blow me away how bloody capable that thing is.
Yeah, it's
pretty epic.
Surprising. I think if you haven't driven one, I'd sort of implore you to drive one because they are incredible.
Yeah.
Cross Turismo is a bit higher as well, which helps when you're getting across, bumpy fields. But this is the one that I drive every day, so one careful owner.
Is this the newer version with the bigger battery
Yep, so
pack?
this is the J2 as we refer to it. So second generation car, bigger battery, bigger capacity, better range. So up to 400 mile range, depending on configuration. But yeah, it's a bit of a game changer in that sense.
It is, yeah. I took, it was exactly the same as this, the second generation one, and we went up the passes, giving it a good hammer in, and came back, and I think I had 60% range, and it was like, wow, that's actually quite impressive. Yeah.
It's surprising. I think there's a lot of talk around range anxiety and things like that. I've been driving one for 3.5 years now. Never once struggled to get a charger. Never had that problem at all. It's that side of it, I think, now is a bit of a myth almost.
It's getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, much better. And performance is staggering. It's, as I say, if you haven't driven one, I think it would really surprise people. And cars like, Elliot in the Dakar wouldn't know which way this went. It's that fast.
Absolutely.
Elliot knows because he drove this car last week. But even so, Taycan is really, really surprising. It's very much a Porsche as well. It still drives like a Porsche. Steering feels amazing. Brakes are incredible. It's a fantastic car.
Yeah. So come to these guys if you want to test drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's talk about the Dakar then.
Ooh,
oh, what a spec! Proper military we've got going on here, haven't we?
Yes.
Tell us the story about the Dakar.
So this is the man that owns it. So we created a crazy idea, essentially. So we wanted to go for military style off-roader.
I think it suited the look of the car. We wanted that whole sort of like they get that evoke that military thing. It's an off-roader. We wanted to use it for that. Yeah, it's nice. That looking.
I think I've seen some pictures of it. We've got obviously the color-coded wheels. Have we got color-coded badging on the back as well? Is that right? Or am I thinking of another car that's similar? Oh no, it might be a different one.
So what we have, so this is a Sonderwunsch car.
Yeah.
So it's paint to sample NATO olive, which then has a satin PPF. It has the 1971 livery on it. So we have the black accents and the stickers and stuff down the side. We also have underbody protection and mud flaps on a 911. Absolutely love it. Along with the equipment roof rack with all the accessories as well, and some jerry cans that are painted to match the painted toe eyes.
Yeah.
So from the factory through Sonderwunsch, we asked for body coloured wheels with a polished lip, powder coated toe eyes to replace the standard red that they come with.
Yeah.
Interior wise, we have truffle brown stitch. We have powder wood interior trim as well, because we wanted to go for earthy tones to match the environment that the car will be driven in. And we also have a painted roll cage as well, and a couple of additional race text things, so like race text steering column, dashboard ends, seal guards and stuff like that as well.
You're talking about this Sonderwunsch thing with what I feel is like great knowledge and passion.
Thank you.
So are you the man to see if you want something special like this?
He definitely is.
He is. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will absolutely
Does he have
give it my
taste?
best
What
shot.
do you think, guys? Do you like it? Yeah. We're good.
Bring back wood trim, right?
Yeah.
Rich, let's go. Show
Okay.
them cars. So,
right. The man that owns the car. What are you doing with it? Where are you going? What's the? Come on, there's got to be a reason
definitely.
for this.
For me, I've got an aerial Nomad as well, which I love.
Fantastic.
And we've done
car.
loads of trips to Salisbury Plains and stuff in that.
Yeah.
And get to abuse that all the time. And the idea of having a 911 that had a little bit of that in it just seems awesome. We've done loads of trips to the Dolomites and the Alps in normal cars.
Yeah.
So the idea of taking this on some of the Italian military roads and sort of doing an Alpine trip off-road, would be epic. So that's the sort of plan.
Great.
Yeah, can't wait.
Good. Get out there and get it dirty. Absolutely. Yeah, fantastic.
This is the cleanest it will ever look, I think.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. So if we got a plan, actually a trip ready to go, or are we just?
We've got some ideas. It's actually quite hard to find the off-road stuff, but we've been doing the research now. So we're trying to do an annual trip to the mountains and stuff. So
I'm sure I've seen a group that's doing advertised as a Dakar trip.
So there is a Dakar club now, but then there's also I think Club Mulholland are doing a trip to Morocco, which does look awesome.
Yeah.
If I could find the time, I'd be tempted.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Excellent. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Good. I think we are done. Is there anything else you want to take us through on the Porsche side? The bike. Okay, tell us about the bike.
The bike.
Ruby Stone bike. No
It
less.
is, yep. It is Ruby Stone, which is good. So they do a couple of different colours that you can have, but it's a Porsche e-bike. We did a bit of fun with this last week for the Dakar handover, so we borrowed a couple of these from Porsche. It's pretty amazing. It's very capable. It's sort of a Dakar in a mountain bike, but with Porsche. So yeah, it's pretty good. Complements this quite nicely.
It does indeed,
which is good. So obviously available through the Porsche centres, and you can have one in if you want Ruby Star or shade green. I think you can have, and another colour as well. So and we had a carmine red one as well. So yeah,
Fantastic.
really cool addition, I suppose. Makes them a bit more capable as well when you take them on, the cars, because you can take this off road very slightly anyway, as we did last week.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was the bike was hilarious. The whole being able to go uphill without having to put any effort in as well was amazing. Yeah, really good. So the handover for the Dakar was really cool. So these guys went mountain biking with the Porsche bike, and then the Dakar was hiding in the trees. It doesn't get any cooler than that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was
What
really
service
cool.
is that?
Amazing. Yeah, really good.
Excellent. So yeah, if you want an amazing experience of speccing a car and then it being delivered to you, these are the guys to come and see, I guess.
Come see Colchester.
Yeah, definitely.
Come and see Colchester.
Great stuff. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Cheers. Thank you.
I'll hop in with you. Is that okay? Go for it.
Right, we're going to take a little break now. We'll be back, I guess, in about an hour or so, something like that. There may be some other stuff that comes up on stage. See you in a bit.
Well done, Andy. Well done, mate.
Can we hear the turn us off?
She said, I love you, boy, I love you so. She said, I love you, baby, oh, 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 oh. She said, I love you more than words can say. She said, I love you, baby.
Are we on? Great. Thank you, everybody. Now the rain has finally stopped for at least 5 minutes. So we are here with a very special car that has a lot of motorsport history to Porsche. And in particular, those who would recognize it, this is the 917K. Now, not this particular car, but the 917K has a lot of history with Porsche, having won Le Mans in 1970 and 1971, which included Richard Atwood at the wheel. Now, this particular example is a homage to the 97K that was built by this amazing automotive engineer called Dave. And you tell me that he was inspired by a trip to Le Mans, a trip to Brands Hatch in 1970, where I believe Pedro Rodriguez won 1,000 kilometers in the driving rain.
Yes, as a kid, 13-year-old, I watched Rodriguez win at Brands Hatch, and he won by 5 laps in the wet, a very famous race. And as any 13-year-old knows, you watch a particular car and you think, I want one of those. So, but I'm not a rock star. I'm not a whiz up the city, but I'm an automotive design engineer. So reverse engineered this homage to the drivers and the races in the early 70s.
It looks amazing. Now, I believe it's in the iconic Golf blue livery.
Yep.
But I do notice that it says the word the canoe on the side, and it doesn't really look like a canoe, does it?
The reason for the nickname for the car, the Canoe, is because the body panels came up on piston heads in August 2011. And they said, what would you do with a set of glass fiber 917 panels, turn them upside down and use them as a canoe? So I went out and bought them and then started to reverse engineer the whole car chassis, to replicate more or less exactly the chassis on the suspension on the originals, wheels as well. After 2 years, I had the first chassis built, and then I emailed Piston Heads and said, I'm the idiot that bought those body panels. And they there ran an article, a very good article about the car. Yeah.
That's good. Now, talk to me about the engine specifications. For those who can't see it, there looks like a very large and exotic lump in the middle.
Well, the problem with these, I have to say, all Porsche people here, so maybe no one who's got a GT40, but GT40s are a walk in the park. because they're a lot simpler than the complexity of this, and you can get a really good V8 for 100,000. Yeah, the last original engine that sold, Flat 12, air-cooled Flat 12, went for 1.4 million at Goodwood in 2018. I'd have to sell my house, cash all my pension plans in, and put my poor wife in a caravan, and I still couldn't afford the engine. So, but to keep the link to the originals, it runs an air-cooled 964 with a G50. Body panels came from moulds taken from David Piper's car, so visually looks correct. And I'm a member of the Porsche Club and get invited to display at various events and in dealerships, which I think is it makes it worth the trip.
Great, and I can imagine it's quite a handful to drive in the wet. So how is it to drive?
It's fine. I go into London, I poodled at 20 mile an hour into London, and then the following week I can take it round Brands, which we have done. So it's fine to drive into London. Yeah, 7,200 miles so far with about 600 on track.
Brilliant. It's certainly a good car. Now, the number 10 on this car, does that denote a particular driver?
Yep, that's Pedro Rodriguez at Brands in 1970. So the livery as such is from that race that I watched as a kid.
Amazing car. And hopefully you'll have many happy motoring miles ahead of you as well.
Yeah, possibly. It seems to be behaving itself, fingers crossed, touch wood. Yeah, it's ticked a box in my life.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For bringing this amazing car down. Thank you.
Cheers.
I'll grab that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good for you.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you very much.
Do you want me to
how's
poodle
that?
back?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Which is the best?
Oh,
It's round there and...
yeah. So you go straight on.
Yeah.
And then basically all the way around again.
Yeah, okay.
Just pick any of the lanes.
Yeah, okay. And then should I take it back up
Yeah.
front?
Yeah. Take it out the front.
Okay.
That'd be
Okay.
good. Thanks. How was that? Oh, we've got that. DT. Oh. No.
Take the steering wheel off first.
Thanks, Dave. Right. Here we go. So this is Danny James, the infamous Danny James.
So let me give some stats. This is a Arctic Silver, 1997, an early car, because the car was launched in September 97, 996, controversial water-cooled car. And this is the owner.
Hello. Yeah, this is the hated car, the fried egg headlight. So it's even got the amber indicators. It's the earliest water-cooled car. So this is the very first of them, which is the one that really upset everybody and has now become probably the most popular, one of the most popular water-cooled cars on the scene. Maybe even one of the most popular Porsches at the moment. Certainly one of the most Googled Porsches for all the right reasons. Not IMS.
And I believe you've got a bit of a 996 early generation club going as well.
Yeah, so the little pink stickers in the window, the designer of this car was called Pinky Lau. So we came up with Pinky's Tacos because the spoiler looks like a taco shell. So on Instagram, every Tuesday, we post pictures of wings and put taco music on there and call it Taco Tuesday. And it's just created a real trend. And we're finding now people want to buy the kits and put the kits on the cars, and you can't get these parts for love nor money. The wings now are making 2,500 secondhand on the market, even with a can on them. And, you know, you just can't get the parts, but there's so many people that want this product.
I'm trying to think, Guy, did you ever own one of these generation cars in your many car collection years?
I had a 996 C4S, which obviously a Gen 2, but never one of these. But now, I know a lot of us in our club, people are like frantically searching Auto Trader, thinking they still can have for 10 grand. Yeah. And those days I've long gone.
Now, the question I would have is, is it amber lights correct or not?
This is amber lights correct. So 97, 98 will be an amber lights car and will be a cable throttle car. So this is the car that crosses over from the 993. So you've got the 993 4-spoke classic wheel, the amber indicators, cable throttle. They're generally LSD, these early cars as well. So this is kind of it's the last of the most analog car as you come into that, you know, the end of the air-cooled, early water-cooled world. And then after this, fly-by-wire comes in, you know, other traction controls change to ASR, PSM, lots more technology comes, and they get less analog. And they are a little bit more of a driver's machine, which I think Lee has spoken about and everybody's spoken about.
So can we talk about your project?
Oh, the crazy one. Yeah, so I have another one of these, exactly the same, 97 cable throttle LSD car, which we call DTC, which is Dan's Timeless Classics. That's my Instagram name and that. And I went with DTC because I went originally to buy a GT3 and I didn't like the car, so I ended up buying a cable throttle aero car and thought, well, I'll make my own GT3, but I've taken it to a next extreme now, so I'm going for weight reduction. So I've just taken the roof off, put a carbon roof on, although it's not bonded on yet, and I will get on with it. Everybody's going, when's it going to be done?
So, okay, so give us some weight statistics. So the original weight was how much?
Yeah, so the catalogue weight says 1380, but I think that's without fluids. I actually weighed my car and it was 1440, but that's because it had a sunroof, so there's 20, 30 kilos.
You're a big guy as well, so...
Yeah, I wasn't in it. I weigh more than that. It had sports seats. They're heavier than the standard Tombstone seats. Obviously, that weight wouldn't include audio pack, things like that. So my car was 1440. I'm very confident I'll be under 1,300 kilos. I am gunning for 12 now. So I've gone polycarbonate rip green, carbon boot lid, carbon bonnet, and even to the extreme now that I've started chopping bits of metal out of the inside of the car as well, just to get that weight down, and wheels and stuff as well.
And talking of wheels, if I look at the front here,
Yeah.
so what particular wheels do you have here, and what colour are these currently?
So these are actually factory wheels. So you've got two types of wheels. These are design classics, which is, I think, looks more like the traditional BBS look, and they are made by BBS. The more common wheel you'll see, like the GT Freestyle wheel, is sport design. And then the colour is actually, well, it's sort of BBS gold, but it's like a satin finish, and then just a polished lip when they're clean. But yeah, they look really smart, I think. They really suit. I think the gold picks up on the amber, hence why I've done the little gold badge on the back, just for that retro classic look.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, the fact these cars have come back into fashion after its very difficult early years is a testament to, the 911 brand.
Yeah, I think all the 911s, when you look through the history, they all go through, they become a new model, don't they? And as soon as they become new, everyone's like, ugh. Same with the 992 now, and now the new one. We're all really kind of shocked and hating it. No keys, no gearbox, no screens. Next one's going to hover. We're like, ooh. But they go through that stage, and then I think they progressively get worse. So we start going back, looking at the old ones, and actually, I like that car. But I don't know what there's not to like about them. Let's say they're 1,400 kilos, 300 horsepower, a lot of them cable throttled. What more do you need on today's roads? The pedal power is there.
More power.
Yeah, more power is always
I
good.
need more power.
More power.
Yeah.
But to be honest, you can pedal these enough to lose your license quite easily, as you know, you've seen me driving
As we all know as well.
many times. But yeah, no, and they are going to go up in value. There's no doubt about it. The 10 grand cars are broken breakers now.
Can we find a buyer for this car today?
This one's not for sale. I have got people harassing me. I always seem to, whenever I get one, I do the work on it. I start building it. I start the story. And then people start saying, sell it to me, sell it to me. He's going to auction it now.
Well, no. Yeah. Fire speed. I mean, you have noticed, you do actually buy and sell a few. So, I mean, do you buy and sell them to make them profit, or do you buy one as a project and then someone makes you an offer you can't refuse?
Making profit out of cars that you love is impossible. I think what I do is I fund the habit. That's my excuse. So I buy and sell a few, and there must be a profit somewhere down the line. But sometimes the profit is I've nicked the wheels off that one, I've took the seats out of that one, or something. Because I always end up doing more work to them than I ever anticipated, because they need it. They are old cars.
So you're obviously handy with the spanners then?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I haven't rebuilt an engine yet. I haven't got inside an engine, but I've done pretty much everything else. I mean, I cut the roof off of one. I mean, you can see that on YouTube. So, you know, I'm brave.
So,
I was going to say, so a shout out to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's Dan's Timeless Classics as well. YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And I've actually it's a 3-stage video, a bit clickbaity, but the first stage telling you what I was going to do to take the roof off, because lots of people want to know. There are people out there want to do these carbon roof swaps, and it's not quite so straightforward as you could imagine. So the first video is me telling you how I'm going to do it and what I'm going to do. The second video is me doing that, and then literally by the end of the video, the roof's off. And then I cut it short, and you got to watch the next one to watch the roof go back on.
Excellent.
So I guess just to finish up, Danny, where are you boys off to now?
Yeah, so in a little bit of a rush because the guys are all in their cars. So we are about now to drive around Europe. So this car's about to do 2,500 miles. And I'm confident she's going all the way around, no problem.
Bags in the back?
Yeah, bags in the back. The front's full of spares, tools, jacks. Hopefully I don't need any of that, though. We are going to go straight to Folkestone, over to Calais, Liège tonight in Belgium, Stuttgart tomorrow, Black Forest, then down to Austria, round the lakes into Switzerland, and 3 days in Andermatt doing all the passes, and then back to Dijon, and then up the D996.
D996 we did last year. Very, very nice
So that's
road.
probably the most, that other than the passes, I'm probably looking forward to that the most. Like Lee Sibley, when he did the 996 last year in a 996, you done it as well.
With
didn't you?
me.
Yeah, you was there. So, but to do it in this car would be really, really cool, I think. 996 on the 996.
Yeah. Well, safe driving, mate, and I know
thank
you'll have a laugh, and look forward to the pictures and the
Yeah, it'll all be over Instagram.
Instagram overload.
Just follow the story. Hopefully there'll be no breakdown scenes, but
No, fingers crossed, mate.
fingers crossed we'll be all right. They're
right.
good old girls.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
Danny. Thanks, mate.
See you
Safe
soon.
trip. Thanks, Dan.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Any more cars? There's literally...
Is anyone here up for telling a story on the stage? I won't hold my breath.
Would anybody like to bring their car on the stage? Or should we go and find the car to put on the stage?
We'll look around the field. We'll go and find some cars. All right, be back soon. Thank you. Cars.
Thank you.
I'll turn it all the way down anyway. So that's fine. Stop it, Mick. No, what about this?
Mali, Mali, Mali don't want to get to what I do. Mali, 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 you're a Fimbona. Mali, Mali, Mali don't want to get to what I do. Mali, 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 you're a Fimbona. Mali, Mali, Mali don't want to get to what I do. Mali, 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 you're a Fimbona. Mali, Mali, Mali don't want to get to what I do. Mali, 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 you're a Fimbona. Rosa of Africa, Halimami of Africa, philosophy of Africa, Balatana of Africa, Limale, Rosa of Africa, Halimami of Africa, Ekiriben of Maluka, Balatana of Africa.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere.